Good evening and welcome to Front Row Racing. We're here tonight for round two of the World Series here in Shanghai, China. My name is Alex, although most of you will know me as Curly. I'm going to be your broadcaster tonight. Joining me in the commentary box is my fellow World Championship driver, F1 Roadrunner. Roadrunner, how are you this evening?
I'm excellent. Hoping for a good race today.
Yeah, we've had some good racing at this track already. A personal favourite of mine, and we had a great race in Australia 2 weeks ago in the World Series. Mali Kekec taking the win. A very tight race at the end between him and Konzo. Hopefully we have those two battling on track again this evening. Roadrunner, do you want to give us a rundown of what drivers we have on the grid for the World Series this evening?
Sure, I will. We've got in Mercedes, Lancash Arlads, Hindle and Lefty Hardtail. And the Ferraris, Binman, Konzo and Calzo. Konzo is our reigning championship from last season. We've got in the Red Bull, we've got Will Win One and Stocky. Stocky previously last season used to drive in the World Championship and he moved to the World Series. In the Williams, we've got Danny Railton and Gunk 71. In Sahara Force India, we've got Ant 69 and Milstar 12. In Renault, we've got Lord JB and, pardon me, Jade Reyes. We've got in Toro Rosso, SBL Mali Kekec and Slim Badoud. In the Haas, we've got Fatbu and RDB. In the McLaren, we've got Maznat and Garfield. And I think that's about that for the drivers. Sauber, of course, there are no drivers.
Okay, fantastic. We do not have a Sauber driver as there is no rookie racer tonight. So I'm going to hop over to spectate and let's get these drivers over to the track for round two of the World Series. Roadrunner, China, what are your thoughts on this circuit? Is this one that you like, or did you come into this race yesterday just hoping for it to be over?
Well, it's not one of my favorite tracks. A bit tricky, especially on tire wear. You need to nurse your rear tires, especially on the brakes. The fast turn one, actually it's a mix of turn one, turn two, can be really harsh on one's tires if you're running stiff rear. But yeah, never had good results over here. Yesterday was very close in quali, but mostly I binned it in the first turn. Hope nobody bins it today.
Yeah, that turn one on this game seems to be a real difficult spot for drivers. The rear of the car, it's so easy just for that to snap and for you to end up a long way off track there. So I'm sure we'll see a little bit of that tonight, particularly with those drivers who are running no traction control or medium traction control. Just a reminder for those watching that the World Series is our assists allowed event. So traction control, ABS, automatic gears will be available for those drivers who want to use them. However, it does seem with recent patches that running without traction control does give an advantage. But however, that always comes with the risk. Now, heading into China, you brought up the tire wear point. We saw a mixture of strategies, but most people going for the one stop last night. We often find that for races in the World Series, the tire wear tends to be a little bit higher for those assist runners. Do you think the drivers will go for the one stop tonight, or will they play it safe and go for the two stop?
It's safer to go with the two stop. Oh, I've got a rainy qualifying. So tire wear will not be an issue in quali, and the guys will be starting on fresh tires.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this wet qualifying session. We had a dry race for the World Series in Australia, and well, we've thrown a little bit of a curveball into the mix here. I mean, in the wet, this track, I think it's a difficult track in the wet, particularly the traction zones. There's a lot of curving traction zones here at China, and in the dry even they're tricky, but in the wet they can be an absolute nightmare. So I'm sure that we'll see drivers struggling with that. Hopefully we have one of the drivers. Oh, so we do have a message saying that the race will be a dry race. So wet qualifying and dry race here for the World Series. So that means these drivers can really just go push flat out and then start on whatever tires they want for the race, meaning that grid position is basically everything. There's no strategy here, it's just get the best time you possibly can.
Well, yesterday I managed to do starting on a super soft and then going on softs. It was a bit aggressive, bit on the edge, but it worked out in the end, finishing a couple of seconds behind Jenny James. So we're starting on fresh tires. I think super soft and soft would be a good one.
Yeah, I think we've got that as a good option. I think also for those who are a little harder on their tires, perhaps a soft medium strategy would be available to them. I would expect with this wet qualifying to see most of the drivers going for the one-stop strategy. That was the winning strategy in the championship last night. So I'm sure that these drivers will have watched that race and taken note of what some of those drivers were doing. But yeah, I mean, I'm just on board with Gonk now. He's just on an outlap warming up his tires. Intermediate conditions seems to be what everybody is going for. Sorry, intermediate tires is what everyone's going for at the moment. Doesn't look quite wet enough for the wet tires yet.
Yeah, I'm watching Stocky also. Yeah, everybody's on intermediates. But it's a bit tricky. I think it's a bit wet, but not that wet for wets. So we'll see.
So yeah, I'm just on board with Gonk, who seems to be the first person to set a lap. Do you want to take us through a lap of China in the wet, Roadrunner?
Can I skip that?
Alright, I'll go for it. First lap, Gonk 721, heading down into turn 1. He's quite cautious on the entry there. He's running a little wide, very little grip. You can tell already that the drivers are going to be struggling with this, but he's done a good job to get it slowed down towards the apex at turn 2. Flick the car left for turn 3. Now this is a very difficult traction zone, even in the dry. It's even harder in the wet. See Gonk just controlling the oversteer a little bit there. He's done a great job through there as we come down to turn 5, and now the hairpin at turn 6. Heavy braking zone. Make sure you a little bit of a lockup for Gonk there, but he has gotten the car slowed down well. This is looking like a solid opening lap, and wet conditions, it's always the case where the track will get faster as the session goes on, as drivers create a little bit of a dry line. So yeah, early on it's really just about getting comfortable with the conditions, but Gonk seems to be taking to this like a duck to water. He's hitting these apexes beautifully on this lap, running maybe just a little wide there, but yeah, he's looking quite comfortable here in the wet, coming towards the end of the second sector. Another lock up for Gonk, but he does manage to reach the apex. He's maybe giving himself a little bit of extra room in the braking zone, so make sure he can do that. Now this is a very difficult traction zone, and it's a crucial one too. Long right-hander on the run onto this massive back straight. I believe it's the second longest straight on the calendar, so that traction zone can make or break your lap. Now, difficult braking down into the hairpin. He brakes just after 150 meters, taking it quite cautiously. Another lock up there for Gonk, but he has gotten the car slowed down to the apex. Good exit out of there. He's done well on the traction, coming towards the final corner. It's easy to throw away a lap here. Just make sure that you don't cut or extend. He's done that nicely, coming to cross the line. And it is a 148.4 as his first lap, and the first lap of the session. Who are you on board with, Roadrunner?
I'm on board with Stocky. He took a massive slipstream from a Renault, and I guess he's gonna break the timing sheets with a very fast lap time, and as you see, he broke it by half a second.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job there. Into the 46s already, Stocky. He had a great drive in Australia. Difficult beginning of the race. He was spun around on lap 1, but charged his way back through to take third. I think he was very, very happy with that recovery, but he'll be looking to be right up there at the top tonight. I'm on board with Garfield at the moment, as he's coming through the middle sector, just running slightly wide through the fast left corner, and very wide through the right. So yeah, these drivers find these conditions quite tricky. I was speaking to Garfield a couple days ago about his plans for this race, and he was debating between using medium and no traction, so I'm not sure what he's gone with for a wet qualifying session, whether he's taking a risk or playing it safe. I'm not quite sure, but that was something that he was considering before the race. But yeah, I mean, Roadrunner, we're seeing that Stocky's got quite a gap on the field at the moment. Who do we think is going to be able to challenge that time?
I think Gonzo Intense now is on a good lap. He's going into turn 6. Now going into that fast left-right chicane. He's pretty good on his. He's really stable, and he is able to push hard on throttle. Going now into the double apex, double turn. A bit of a slide over there. Nicely taking onto the apex with SPL Medipacket scoring. Wow, 5,000 of a second from Stocky. That's a nice time.
Stocky goes even faster, 46.5, extending his lead. Garfield also heading up into P2 with a 47.3, so Stocky leading the field at the moment. Yeah, the two Ferraris on the straight now. I'm on board with Calzo, and he's coming down into this hairpin heavy braking zone. He's quite late on the brakes there, but he does get it slowed down very well. Any issues on traction? No, he's very stable through there to the final corner. Oh no, he's abandoned the lap. He's gone into the pits, and he's gone very deep into the pits, but he has gone into the pits, so perhaps he's not happy with something to do with his car. Konzo about to cross the line. Where does he go? He goes P2, but he's still quite a long way behind Stocky. Let's see if we can get on board with someone else on a lap. I want to hop on board with Maznat, who's just spun into a wall. Oh dear. Maznat took pole in Australia and lost the car in the opening laps of the race from the leads, and well, he's having more misfortune here. He's in the wall. Oh, that's at the entry to the pits. I'm not quite sure how he's lost it there, but yeah, he's got some time to get back out and well, repair that wing and then get out for another lap.
Maybe a McLaren burst. It's the same spot where Hamilton lost his car and he lost the championship.
Yeah, 2007 I believe that was his first year. That was a gutting moment for those Hamilton fans. I'm aboard with SPL Mali Kekec, who's also going into the pits. He hasn't set a lap time yet, so plenty of drivers coming out, getting a feel for the conditions, and then going back into the pits. Let's see if Slimbo Dude does the same, and he does. So yeah, I mean, drivers heading into the pits, I think that they want to make sure that they're able to be out on track at the very end of the session. I mean, I don't know how you found this, Roadrunner, but I've always found that the track speeds up a lot on this game towards the end of the qualifying sessions. The track evolution seems to be quite extreme on this game, so yeah, I think everybody wants to be out there on track at the very end.
Yeah, the group levels are enormous towards the end, and especially in the wet conditions. If you go on board with Jay Dryas, he's on fire now and going into turn 3. I always confuse this turn. And turn 4, very good on traction. He's able to keep the car in a straight line. Now going to 4, 5, 6. He's really good on braking and the traction. So I guess he's running medium traction. Going now into the fast left-right chicane. I think the brake levels have increased big time. So the guys are went in to get the first set of intermediates, maybe lower the fuel levels and try to push.
Yeah, we can just see on track right now just a little bit of a drier line forming. I will point out just at this moment that it's well, she instead of he. Jade is I think our one female driver on the grid. She's
sorry.
she's doing a good job here on the qualifying lap. That's a great line through the long right-hander onto the straight. Crucial to get a good run down here, and again, this can just this can give you so much time on your lap. Getting a good run off of there down towards the hairpin. Jade not setting a time yet, so there's maybe a little bit of time left in the session, but goes very deep. I think that was perhaps a lock-up, and that has spoiled the lap. I'm on board now with Hindle, who had a very disappointing race in Australia. He finished P2 in the World Series last season, a very, very close championship fight with Konzo, so he's looking for some redemption this evening, and he's on his qualifying lap now.
So Jade is a she, that explains the pink helmet.
Yeah, it might do. I think it fits well with the Renault. It's a good color combination right there. As we watch Hindle coming to this hairpin.
With pink helmet.
Yeah, it's always good to see. Hindle's done a good job of slowing that car down. And we've still got Stocky way out in front at the moment in this qualifying session. We'll see if Hindle is able to challenge him as he comes through the final corner. He's taking those track limits to the maximum, but just within the limits, and he's not set a time. Not quite sure what's going on there, as it said he was on a lap. Couple drivers sort of winding themselves up for laps here. Mali Kekec and Maznat as well. Roadrunner, why don't you take us through a lap of Mali Kekec? He's just starting now. He's our race winner from Australia.
Okay, going on board with him. Going into the fast right-hander. Keeping it on the dry line. With braking, good grip, good traction, everything's looking good. Going to turn 3. Right. Nice exit from turn 4. Going a bit off the line to pull his tires up. Ready lift up for turn 6. Great exit from turn 6. Going now into the fast chicane, left side chicane. A bit of a slide of his rear. At time Calzo's take provisional pole. Let's see if SPL can do anything about that and can spoil Calzo's celebration.
Yeah, I'll also point out we've got Farthba up in P3. If he's able to maintain that position, he'll be very happy with this qualifying session. So keep an eye on that. But it must have been a very good lap from Calzo as we watch Mali Kekec around this long right-hander. Maybe a little tentative there, but he's done an alright job, kept it tight down on the inside, which I would say is crucial to getting a good lap in. It's very close in the mid part of this field. Hindle goes P3, another man in the 46s. See what Mali Kekec is able to do. Good line through the hairpin. He's quite aggressive on the traction there, but he's done a good job now. Final corner. Don't throw it away, Mali Kekec. Oh, he's had a big cut and an extend. I'm not sure if that will have invalidated his lap. Let's see. It hasn't, and he does go P4.
Stocky is about to score a pole, and he does.
Fantastic lap from Stocky there. He's really showing up in these wet conditions, and I think that's maybe, well, I don't know, that's quite surprising. Stockies are one of our few no assist runners. He did run in the World Championship last season, but due to other commitments on Wednesdays, he's running in the World Series this season, but he has put it on pole here in China in wet conditions with no assists, so well done to Stocky for that. As we'll have a final rundown of the grid. Unfortunately, some of the tires are missing, but they are all on intermediate. So, on the grid, we have Stocky taking pole position in China, Calzo alongside him on the front row, then Hindle, Mali Kekec, Farthba up in 5th, phenomenal qualifying for him, he'll be pleased. Konzo in P6, Gonk in 7th, Garfield in 8th. Maznat and Slimbo Dude making up the rest of the top 10. Maznat picking up a 5-place grip penalty for some reason. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Then we've got Danny Railton, Millstar, Ant69, Lore JB, Will1 Win1, RDB, J Dryos, and they're making up the rest of the grid. Lefty Hardtail at the back of the grid. He did not set a qualifying time as he had a qualifying ban from an incident in Australia.
Okay, I believe it's gonna be a very great start. It's overcast. The track temp is, I believe it's a bit low. So grip levels will be lower than usual.
Almost forgot to skip that opening screen. Hopefully we don't get taken down by FOM. I think I may have just been quick enough, but if not, we might have a slight issue.
If you manage to skip it before the logo, you're fine.
Okay, I think we're all right. The stream seems to still be going, so we will carry on. All right. So on the grid now for the Chinese Grand Prix in the World Series, 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a slow start for the Ferrari in P2. Stocky's got a decent run, although Calzo with the second phase of the start very, very quick. We've got contact between a Red Bull and a car on the outside there. I believe that's one of the, was that a Mercedes that went off? But we've got Calzo and Stocky battling through turns 3 and 4. looks like Stocky's just got a little bit of an edge. No, Calzo coming back at him down towards turn 5 and 6. He's got the inside line for the hairpin. A little bit of lag there for Calzo. Perhaps some more contact, and now we've got SBL Mali Kekec making a move up the inside into P2. He's side by side with Stocky coming into this middle sector. They're going to try and go side by side around this corner. Of course they are, as Mali Kekec and Stocky. Who are we kidding that they're not going to go for that? And Mali Kekec is through. He's gotten the move done on Stocky, so he's lost 2 positions off the start. Farthba up in 4th. I believe that it was Hindle involved in that incident running wide at turn 1. He's down to P14, so another bad start for Hindle in the World Series. That's got to be frustrating, but what a great start for both Calzo and Mali Kekec making up places. Now I am going to get the tyre options up here, and yeah, we can see the Stocky. Yeah, Stocky's on the soft compound tyre. Ferrari having a huge moment. That's Konzo. I'm going to hop on board with him just for a moment, and he's lost positions to Gonk. He's got Danny Railton coming up behind him as well. Let's see if he's able to defend this Konzo as well on the soft compound tyres. So is Danny Railton, who's going to go very late on the brakes down into the hairpin. Try and hold it around the outside against the well, the World Series champion at the moment. He's got the inside line for the final corner, and Konzo holds on to that beautifully, I think, around the outside, and he has maintained the position on Danny Railton, but he's going to have to defend again, possibly into turn 1. No, he's held that nicely, so good defensive work there from Konzo. Danny Railton now coming under pressure from Maznat behind him, who had that grid place penalty. He's on a set of super softs and looking to make moves up the field, see if he's able to do anything on traction. I'll hop on board, so that camera angle is awful. But he's not able to get close enough to Danny Railton to make a move down into turn 6. No, he is not. So yeah, very busy first lap there.
Interestingly, Minstar and Lefty Harte are starting on the mediums, so we need to keep an eye on those guys because they're gonna be very fast.
Yeah, Lefty Hardtail starting at the very back of the grid, going for a very long first stint. I think that's a good call for him. He's got to try and make up some places in the pit stops. I think I'm on board with Slimbo Dude right now, who's battling for P4, 5 and 6 with Farthba and Garfield getting a very good run as well, coming onto this straight. And Slimbo Dude trying to line up a move on Farthba, and he's going side by side with him down into the hairpin. He is just ahead. Farthba extremely late on the brakes. He's carried it all the way around the outside of the corner, but he's run wide and Farthba spun it. And he has lost several positions there trying to defend from Slimbo Dude. He's dropped all the way back down into P8. So yeah, just running too deep into that hairpin, and it's cost him dearly.
And he has a wing damage.
Oh, he has wing damage as well. Well, wheels are falling off for Farthba here. Here he had an incredible qualifying for him. But it's all going a little bit wrong now as I'm watching Garfield trying to make a move on the McLaren. Sorry, I'm trying to make a move on the Toro Rosso of Slimbo Dude, and I'll hop on board here as well. And he's just not quite close enough. So Slimbo Dude maintaining that position, and we've seen in the previous races that Slimbo's had some excellent pace, so I'm expecting him to have a look at Stocky and really want to try and close that gap. He's just 2 seconds behind right now, but Garfield is holding on to him pretty well.
Really slow. Small. I don't know which one to watch. There's lots of action in the back.
Yeah, so many battles going on. We've got a Konzo closing up to this battle as well, and also, hold on, let me hop on Maznat quickly in P9. He's very close to Farthba in front of him, and he's going to be looking to make a move, although we've got Garfield possibly making a move on Slimbo Dude down into the hairpin. He's on the inside line. That'll give him an advantage into the corner. Very similar on the braking, but Garfield, he does have the inside line. There's a little bit of contact, but I think he's I think that's probably fair enough. Just a bit of wheel banging, and Garfield gets the move done, and that is Konzo that's just coming up behind these two. So yeah, he's going to be looking for a way past our reigning champion in the World Series. I do believe that Maznat also made his way past Farthba during that overtake, as we've got some battling down for the lower end of the points. We've got Danny Railton. Hindle and Millstar side by side through turn 3. Millstar on the medium tires, Hindle on the softs, and Hindle does go through. He's up to P11. But these guys, a little bit of a train starting to form behind Farthba in P9 here, as Millstar having a look at Hindle, not quite enough. He's not going to be able to get that that move done, as Jade Rice picking up a penalty already.
Yeah, 3 seconds. Unfortunately, and she's dropping to 16.
Yeah, lost quite a few places there. I'm not sure if that was a big off-track incident or something else going on, but losing multiple positions.
She's riding the grass a lot. I think the guys need to be nice to her. Gentlemen, be nice.
Konzo, P6, he's trying to close this gap to Garfield in front of him. He had a great race in Australia. Gap is closing, but it's not going to be enough. And yeah, I mean, I think this is something that I'm sure both of us have noticed, but many of the other drivers as well. F1 2017, it is very difficult to overtake on this game, even at a track like China where, Hindle and Danny Railton going side by side, and I think Danny Railton just was defending there. But yeah, I mean, drivers finding it very difficult to overtake compared to F1 2016, and you know, it's something that some drivers like, but others find kind of frustrating, as Farthba running extremely wide through turn 1. That's going to give the opportunity to Danny Railton going up the inside. Now they're side by side through turn 3. Danny Railton going to hold that around the outside. Beautiful move from Danny Railton. They are still side by side going into no. Danny Railton pulls ahead. Farthba trying to put his nose down the inside, but he's not late enough on the brakes. Now Hindle's going to have an opportunity coming out of turn 6 on the traction. Looking to go around the outside. I believe that this is turn 7, but there's not too much grip on the very outside of this corner, and he's not able to get past Farthba there.
Going back to the overtaking thing, I think in F1 2016 it was the slipstream was overpowered, and in this game it's a bit balanced, but the overtaking thing is a result of the dirty air effect. So running behind the car game and swallowing all the dirty air coming out of the back end of the car, it kills your front tires and your front end grips, and doesn't give you that much of a slipstream. So you need to manage your car and overtake.
Sorry to interrupt you. We've got Garfield going down the inside of Slimbo Dude at the hairpin. They're 3 wide coming out of it. Konzo getting involved as well. He's not able to get that move done as Slimbo Dude defends the inside cut back for Garfield. Beautiful stuff there. And he is through. And Slimbo Dude has lost another position to Konzo, who's just taken advantage of that. And he's up into P5. Garfield with some very strong pace here in China. Is Konzo going to have a little look? No. Garfield closes the door going into turn 2. So yeah, Slimbo Dude losing a couple of positions there. Apologies for cutting you off there, Roadrunner.
No worries, no worries. The action comes priority.
It does indeed, and Konzo, he's all over the back of Garfield now, and yeah, I mean this trio right now seems very, very close on pace. Just to give a little rundown, it's Calzo in the leads. There's a bit of a gap to Mali Kekec, and then another gap to Stocky, and then another gap to this trio of Garfield, Konzo, and Slimbo Dude battling over P4, 5, and 6. Then we've got Gonk in P7, who's being very closely followed by Maznat. He'll be looking to make up a place here soon, but yeah, I think we'll stay on board with Maznat. He does seem to be the closest driver to another, and I mean, what a frustrating event for Maznat in Australia. He takes pole, he leads the opening laps of the race, and then he crashes out of his own accord. I don't know if you've been in that situation before, Roadrunner, but if you've had a really frustrating race, you know, how does that affect your mentality going into the next event?
Actually, for me, I take it race by race, and each race, if I take points, I'm okay. If I win it, I'm also okay. You just drop it behind your back and look forward. It's just that's all about racing. So if you're gonna live with your previous race result, you're not gonna do well. So you need to keep your head down, keep focused, and try to maximize your race.
Yeah, Konzo making a move into turn 1 on Garfield, and I just want to hop on board with Garfield. there's perhaps contact there, but it doesn't look like he's got wing damage. So Konzo making his way up into the top four now. He's been pretty consistently working his way through the field. So we're already 7 laps into this race. It feels like last time. But yeah, I mean, this trio is still very, very close together. I think Maznat in P7 will be looking at this group in front of him, battling away and thinking, I can get involved in that. As Ant69 is the first one into the pits. Roadrunner, could you see if he's got wing damage or if this is a strategic call?
I think it's a strategic call going to the 2-stop because he fitted the socks as I see on my screen.
So Ant69 going for an aggressive strategy call then. Onto that 2-stop, it is well, he will have pitted on lap 6 for him, so yeah, it's quite early, but that's what you need to do to get 2-stop. And the undercut is huge around here. I mean, pitting earlier can net you a lot of track position, so long, you know, it can work out as long as you're able to defend in the next stint. As Slimbo Dude, he's had a much better exit out of the hairpin than Garfield, and is he going to do a similar move as Garfield did to him just a couple of laps ago? Not quite, but he's got the DRS. He is closing on Garfield as he goes around the outside into turn 1, and that DRS giving him the advantage there, but he's run a little bit wide. Garfield fighting it back down into turn 2, and he's got the inside line, and it seems to be much better grip through that corner. He just looks much more stable than Slimbo Dude through there. Slimbo Dude with a big moment of oversteer, but Garfield maintaining that position. Good defensive work from him. However, this battling is allowing Konzo to run away from this pair into P4.
I think in a couple of laps we're gonna see the super soft guys running into the pits, and see if we're gonna go to the mediums or gonna try the aggressive strategy of going to softs, maybe running it to the end, or putting a set of super softs. I think Stocky is in a very good position to win this race today, though he is like 6 seconds behind Calzo. If Stocky can take his softs to lap 12 or 13, between lap 15 or 17, I think going to super softs to the end, the tires might survive because he will be on lighter fuel loads. The track will be grippier, so his tire will be less.
Yeah, definitely. We did see Stocky do something similar to that in Australia, where he started the race on the super softs, but then ran very long and put on a set of ultra softs, which was a strategy that worked fantastically for him. We know that Stocky's got good tire wear, so he may be thinking about that. As I'm just watching Slimbo Dude coming into the pits, he's had enough of battling with Garfield. I think he wants some clean air. I'll keep an eye on him to make sure, well, to see what tires that he goes for. It's he's pitting at the end of lap 8 for him. This is the pit stop window if he wants to one stop, but is he going to? That's the question. He's going to put on a set of medium compound tires. That is going to be a one-stop strategy for Slimbo Dude. He'll run to the end on this compound of tires, I think, and he's going for an undercut on Garfield. We know that the undercut is strong, so Slimbo Dude versus Garfield, this is the battle for P5. Garfield's got to respond to this, surely. He's got to go for mediums on the next lap and try to avoid that undercut from Slimbo. Slimbo is in a big pocket of free air. He's got 11 seconds in front of him for him to push into, so yeah, I think it's a good call from Slimbo Dude. He's found a gap in the field and he's gone for it.
I think there's something wrong with this session because I see Gonk on the leaderboard. He fitted softs, but in the pit it shows that currently I see him have super softs.
I believe there was an issue with this last night as well. He's on the softs on my leaderboard, and he's on the softs on my screen as well. So yeah, I think this is a glitch that the commentators had yesterday. So I do believe that he is on the soft compound tires, as Lord JB has picked up a 5-second time penalty for ignoring blue flags. Who's that? He's not let through. It's oh dear, that's a Red Bull and a Toro Rosso. That's Mali Kekic and Stocky. So Lord JB, got to make sure you're getting out of the way if you're following a lap down. But Stocky now on this soft compound set of tires is starting to reel in Mali Kekic. Mali Kekic and Calzo going quite long on these super softs. They're definitely looking to one-stop this race. But yeah, we do have Garfield in the pits. He's responded to Slimbo Dude now. Is the undercut going to be enough for Slimbo Dude to get that position on him? Garfield, what's he going for? Set of medium compound tires for him. It's going to be a one-stop as well. Where is Slimbo Dude? He's coming out of the final corner right now, and Is he going to be ahead of Garfield? Garfield just leaving the pits. They might even be side by side into turn 1. Oh, very close, but Slimbo Dude has gotten the move done via the pit lane. Excellent stuff from him. Good job executing that undercut, and now he's just got to defend for the next 18 laps.
I think Stocky gonna overtake SPL on the slipstream. He's right behind him going into the last turn before the fast right-hander. Then going into the back straight, he's very close. He's very close.
Yeah, Stocky was a couple seconds behind just a couple laps ago, but Mali Kekec really struggling these tyres as we're watching Stocky pull alongside down into the hairpin, and he is going to have an advantage on the brakes, as I'm getting bizarre camera angles from the game here. But yeah, Stocky down the inside gets the move done. Will Mali Kekec pits? I think he's simply got to. He does, and I think he'll be coming into the pits for. Is it going to be a set of mediums? Could possibly be a set of soft. Is lap 10? I think maybe you can get there to the ends, but we'll see what he goes for. I'm seeing as well that Garfield and Slimbo Dude side by side into the hairpin. This seems to be the premier overtaking position here at China, and Garfield having a look at Slimbo, but he's not quite able to get past. He may have another look going into turn 1, staying very close to him. SPL going to mediums, so that's a one-stop strategy as well for SPL Mali Kekec. He'll definitely get to the end on those. Garfield looking up the inside of Slimbo Dude, turn 1. He's not quite able to make it, but we know Slimbo's had troubles here earlier in the race, but he does hold that line well. So yeah, I think these two are going to battle all the way to the finish. Maznat has come into the pits as well. He's just a little bit behind these guys. He's gone on to the medium compound of tyres. So yeah, now we've got, I mean, the battle for the lead. Calzo's still yet to pit. He's on that set of super softs. He's got Stocky 7 seconds behind, but Stocky on the softs should have better pace right now.
I think Calzo's holding on to those tires. He has been nice to those tires to maintain the 7 seconds. He's going between 6.5 and 7 seconds lead over Stocky. But still, he needs more than that to even challenge Stocky towards the end, because I think Stocky is going for this one-stop strategy and is going to put super softs to the end. This is how I see it.
Yeah, if I were Stocky right now, that would be what I do. Calzo into the pits, our race leader comes in. So Stocky will inherit the lead of the race from that. He's got Konzo a couple seconds behind him. And on that note, on tyre wear, just towards the end of Mali Kekec's stint, you know, the first part of the stint he was keeping up pretty well with Calzo, but towards the end of the stint, Calzo just pulling a big gap, and he has gone to the soft compound tyres. So aggressive strategy here from Calzo. He bogs on lap 11, and I think he should make it to the end on this set of softs. We'll see how Stocky responds. Is he going to pit now and go for mediums, or is he going to run it long, go for super softs? If I were him, I think I'd agree with you, Roadrunner, and I think I'd go for the supers, pitting lap maybe 16 would probably be the best one to go for.
Yeah, the window, 15, 17.
We've also got Calzo. He's come out of the pits just behind Danny Railton, and he does get ahead of Danny Railton down at turn 6. Crucial move for Calzo. He's got to make the most out of these new tyres now and build up enough of a gap so that Stocky can't run him down towards the end of the race. He's got a big patch of clear air in front of him now. He's got to make use of it.
Konzo is gradually catching up to Stocky. The gap is going between 1.8 and 2 seconds, so if Stocky can hold on to this gap towards another 4 laps, I think it's Stocky's race.
Yeah, would you rather be in Stocky's shoes? I think I prefer to be in Calzo's shoes right now. I think that he's going to have a big undercut on Stocky, and will Stocky be able to run down perhaps a 10-second gap in the final, say 12 laps? It's a big ask. Although if there is one driver I think that can do it, it probably will be Stocky. Mali Kekec, a lefty hardtail contact at the hairpin, but Mali Kekec has gotten the move done. That's crucial for his race, as Lefty has not stopped yet. He started on those medium compound tyres. He'll be running very long. Danny Railton in the pits. What's he going to go for? It's lap 13. He's pitting from a set of softs. I'm assuming that this is a set of mediums, and it is, and that's going to allow him to push and drive aggressively for the remainder of this race. still got Garfield and Slimbo Dude within a second of each other, so these two are having a great battle this evening. Let's see, Danny Railton losing positions. I believe that he was ahead of Maznat before they pitted, so yeah, Maznat pulling off an undercut there, that gets him up into P10. Those drivers still yet to stop yet are Stocky, Konzo, Millstar and Lefty Hardtail. Everybody else has made at least one stop, with our bottom trio of Farthba, RDB and Lord JB having to make 2 stops. I'm assuming some damage was involved there, and yeah, I mean, this is this race has gone from great to bad for Farthba. P5 in qualifying, excellent result for him, but unfortunately now he's stuck down in P16.
Millstar is another guy to have a look, to keep an eye on, because he started way back the grid on a set of mediums, and I believe he's good, doing the same thing as Stocky. So but he's on the better tires than Stocky. Oh, and that's the Alice pulling a move on, and he overtakes. No, did he do it? No, a bit close.
Yeah, good job from Ali Kekec there. It's, again, this is crucial from Ali Kekec as Calzo is well into the 35s. It's a good lap time from him. Mali Kekec able to make his way past Millstar. Crucial for him to have, well, hopes of the podium right now. As we're seeing up at the front, Konzo, a couple laps ago he was 2 seconds behind. It's just 1.1 now. He is slowly pulling this gap down. You can see, well, he's within the DRS almost now of Stocky. So yeah, I mean, Konzo, I raced with him last season in the series, and one thing I know about this guy is, well, of course he's a reigning champion, but also he is fantastic on his tyres. Very, very good at getting the most out of his tyres and protecting them throughout the stint. So maybe we're seeing this start to come to fruition for Konzo, and Stocky, he's got to start looking behind him and defending from the Ferrari driver. Konzo, the teammate of Calzo, 2 of them are brothers, and Konzo would very much like to start battling with Stocky and giving Calzo a really good chance to win this race.
Garfield, Slimbo Dude proved a nice overtake into turn 6 over Garfield. Garfield is still in his slipstream, so I think he's going to take the position back to the back straight.
Yeah, these two will just not stop this evening. They've been together since lap 1. We're 14 laps in. They're still together battling out on track. As Stocky comes into the pits, he's boxed. It's lap 15, or was that 14 that he pitted on? That seems a little early if he's going to go to the super sauce. We'll see what he does. Is he going to go for the aggressive call? No, it's a set of mediums for Stocky, so he doesn't think he's got the tire life to make it to those super softs. So now with these mediums, it's not as fast of a compounded tire, but he will have the ability to drive flat out for the rest of this race. I think perhaps he's going for an undercut on Konzo. He's recognized that Konzo is catching him, and he doesn't want to give up that position. He comes out of the pits just a little bit behind Mali Kekec in P4. So Konzo is our one, Konzo, Lefty Hardtail, the only 2 still left to stop as Millstar comes into the pits for a set of soft compound tires. He's gone medium soft. He'll be very quick towards the latter half of this race. We'll see what Konzo and Lefty Hardtail do.
I think it's a 1-2 for Ferrari. Konzo and Calzo.
Yeah, I mean, if Konzo is able to take those soft tires to the point he needs to for the super soft, which is roughly about now. We did see, I think it was Monet last night pulled off the soft, super soft strategy, pitting on lap 15, although his tyres did fall off quite a lot at the end. So perhaps for Konzo, he maybe wants to go just an extra lap or 2 if he does have the life in his tyres available. But I mean, yeah, if he's he's going to come out of the pits maybe just behind Stocky, but he'll have much better pace on super soft tyres. Let's hop down a little bit further down to the field. Hindle. Another tough race for him, and he's down in P11 right now. This his championship hopes have not taken, well, they've taken a bit of a hit. They've not had a good start to this season. He's battling with Millstar, who I've got to say Millstar's really impressed me this season. He's had some fantastic pace. He seems to have found something on this game compared to F1 2016, and he's going to have a look at Hindle. This is for P11. And Hindle with some really good straight line speed. Millstar is closing. Is he going to have enough? Hindle goes defensive. He's incredibly late on the brakes. Great work there from Millstar. They're side by side at the hairpin. He's going to have better traction around the outside. They are side by side into the final corner, but Millstar backs out. He's not going to go for a risky move here. So Yeah, that's a good effort for Milstar, not quite enough, incredibly late on the brakes. Maznat up past Gonk now. He's making moves, trying to get himself, yeah, he does hold onto that position. So Maznat up into P8. Danny Railton starting to look pretty interested in this battle as well. The two Williams drivers running together on the track, both in the points. I think they'll be fairly happy with that.
Garfield is still in Slimbo Dude's mirrors. Oh, he's all over him.
Oh, almost into the back of him there in the middle sector. He's very, very close. Following so closely. He's going to go down the inside. He is going for the move into sector 3. Beautifully done from Garfield.
And he is going to have DRS.
Ooh, is he? I think Slimbo might get the DRS, as the I think the detection point is between those two corners, right? We'll see.
Yeah, sorry for that. No, Slimbo.
Yeah, Slimbo does have the DRS. Garfield overtaking just early enough for Slimbo to get it, so that will keep him in touch, but he's not quite close enough to make a move. But these guys, I think they're free to really battle. Maznat quite a long way behind on track. I mean, Konzo, he's on lap 17. These soft tires, he's still going. So he definitely will be going to the super softs this race, as we've got a move for P11 between Milstar and Hindle. And Milstar and these soft tires, he had a great first stint on the mediums, and it's starting to pay off now. Milstar up past the one-time champion Hindle, so good move for him. And yeah, once again, Milstar really impressed me this season. He's had some great pace.
If Milstar continues on this pace, he has a chance for the top 5, because the guys in front of him are not that far in front.
I don't know about top 5. There's a big gap between Slimbo and Maznat, but I mean, I think P8 is possible. I think that would be that would be doable. I think with that sort of 7.5 second gap between Maznat and Slimbo, that's a big margin to make up in only 11 laps. But I mean, yeah, Milstar is really. Well, he's really putting his foot down and giving it absolutely everything right now. Konzo's still going out front. Danny Railton, he's having a look at his teammate. This will be interesting. The two Williams and Danny Railton perhaps looking a little bit quicker at the moment. Will we see some team orders here from Williams? Roadrunner, what's your opinion on team orders? Something you like, or are you not a fan of it?
Well, if it helps the team to get more points and avoid losing positions, it should be in place. And now, if Williams, they are fighting it, and the cars behind are catching them. If you see, Dunk had Danny Railton passing. So team orders went into place.
Roadrunner, could you just have a couple comments on the YouTube? Would you be able to turn your mic volume up slightly? Just one or two of the viewers are struggling to hear you a little bit. So
can you hear me now?
That should be better. Give us a comment on the YouTube if you are if you're happy with that change. So it seems like Williams do agree with you on the team orders, although Gonk has actually pulled into the pits. I believe that's the second stop. Lefty Hardtail out of the pits, super soft tires. He's down in P11, but he's got to charge his way up the field now. He's got 10 laps to make up some ground. We also had Konzo in the pits from the lead of the race. He's on the super soft tires. He's going to be looking to run down Stocky and Mali Kekech, who are both also going to the end. So this is going to be a straight fight for these podium positions. Konzo, he's got Stocky 3 seconds ahead of him. Mali Kekech 5 seconds up the road. I think Calzo might be a little bit too far for him, but there is a chance of a Ferrari 1-2 here.
Yeah, on the super softs, the pace will be like a second and a half faster than everybody else, if not more, if you have enough fuel for that.
Yeah, I'm not going to check the fuel. I don't want to give away too much information to the race engineers. I do know that some of the teams have got engineers, and they are, well, they're very quick to hop onto any piece of information that's provided to them, so I won't give them that chance this evening. But still, so we just watched Slimbo Dude run wide. Him and Garfield still battling it out. They've been going at it for 19 laps. I think that'll go all the way to the end. These two battling over P5. They're sort of in no man's land. There's a big gap in front of them, big gap behind them. So yeah, they're having a good time battling each other this evening. As I'm just watching Gonk go past Ant69 on the run down the straight, and on some fairly worn medium tires as well. I think he almost lost the car there. Oh no, and lagging around massively as an adventure on the grass on my screen. He's now gone completely straight on at the hairpin. Now is this lag or is this... nope, I think that's just him going straight on to the hairpin. So Gonk gets the move done, and 69 clearly having some sort of connection issues this evening.
Okay, so the grid is now a bit spread out. Stocky is catching up to SPL Malikakic, and Konzo is flying now.
Yeah, Konzo really running him down. He's turned that 3-second gap into a second within, I don't know, about a lap there. And yeah, I mean, he's already within DRS range of Stocky. I don't think he has, no, he does have the DRS, so I think we're going to see a move for P3 coming pretty quickly as we've lost Jade from the session. Unfortunately, could you check on that one, Roadrunner, if that's a crash or just a retirement in the pits?
Let me check. I think it was a crash.
Gonzo's going to have an opportunity on Stocky now into turn 1 for P3. He's having a look up the inside. Somebody's coming out of the pits. It's Jade's ghost car, possibly? Although it doesn't actually seem to be ghosting, so slight issue here for Konzo. And yeah, that's frustrating. That's right in the way of Konzo. He should be able to get past now on the run to turn 6. You see a little bit of weaving there. Konzo is not happy, getting quite frustrated with this. He thought he had an opportunity to get past Stocky there. He's going to have to wait for a little bit later on in this lap. Malikakic just 2 seconds up the road from these guys as well. Konzo will know that. So yeah, he looks so much quicker than Stocky through this middle sector. The amount of grip he's getting from this super soft set of tyres is unbelievable, and he's very quickly closed that gap again to Stocky. I'm not really sure what Stocky can do here, to be honest. I think he's just got to sort of accept that Konzo's probably going to come past him, but knowing Stocky, he'll fight it hard.
I think Stocky took a gamble by going to the mediums. Again, for me, he could have taken his softs a couple of laps more, and like Konzo did, went to the super softs because
Konzo's going to have an opportunity to get past Stocky. They're side by side coming down the straight, and Konzo has breezed past him on the straight. It wasn't even much of a contest there. Stocky down into P4. Konzo basically having the move done before they even made it to the braking zone. So now Konzo, he's got to get after Malikakic, 1.7 seconds. And you can just see Malikakic in the shot there in the Toro Rosso. So Konzo really putting on a late charge for him. And yeah, he'll be closing that gap down pretty quickly. I think for Stocky, really all he can do at this point is just try and hold on to Konzo and either hope that his tires drop off at the end or hope that there's some kind of contact between him and Malikakic that would allow him to get through.
Or stay in Konzo's slipstream and help him catch SPL.
Yeah, he's got to look for a sort of opportunistic move at this point if he wants to get on the podium and see if, you know, when Konzo catches up to Malikakic and they start battling, if there's a way for Stocky to get through. I'm sure that he will take it. Millstar coming up behind the back of Danny Railton now. This is for P8. He's just 4/10. He's kind of dragging Hindle along with him, and Millstar on the soft compound of tyres, Danny Railton on the mediums. So Millstar having a fair tyre advantage here, but I'm going to hop back on board with Konzo in this battle for P2 now. He's getting a great run out of the long right-hander onto the straight. Malikakic going defensive very early. He's trying to break the slipstream a little bit there, but Konzo, incredible straight line speed. He's going to have a move down into the hairpin. They're very, very close on braking. Malikakic just squeezing him a little bit onto the curb there. Konzo unable to make the move, and he's going to have a look now down into turn 1. I spoke to Malikakic earlier. He said that he definitely wanted to win this race. I'm not sure that's going to happen today, but he's going to defend hard for P2. Konzo having a look. No, he's not able to get close enough to have a move into turn 1, but they are actually, well, he will have a move into turn 1. He's got so much more grip on these super soft tires. He's taking a wider line through 3 and now 4. He's going to try and get him on traction, and he does get a much better exit. You can see that here. Konzo around the outside. Is he going to go for a move up the inside? Mali Kekec covering it well. See again on traction if Konzo is able to get a better exit, and maybe no. Mali Kekec doing a good job covering that off, really parking his car on the apex there. Konzo having a little look up the inside. Good driving between these two not to make contact. Mali Kekec holds on to the position for another lap. He's got to defend for 6 more. Stocky seems to be dropping back a little bit. He's unable to keep up with these two.
I see some of Ricardo's moves over here. He's pushing his elbows and making his car wider as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, Mali Kekec really just doing everything that he possibly can to try and defend this position. He knows that this is well, this is crucial, not just for this race, but also for the championship. That's a shocking camera angle. As Konzo's going to have another look. Mali Kekec defends to the inside again for the hairpin. It worked from last lap. Will it work this time? On the brakes, Konzo was a little better on the brakes, but they're side by side coming out the exit of the hairpin. Konzo on the curb, and he's just not quite. Is he close enough to have a nose into the final corner? Not quite, but he's got a better exit. This could be an opportunity for Konzo now. He's in the slipstream. He's got DRS coming down the main straight. You can see Stocky in the background just waiting for something to happen here. Konzo is going to try and go around the outside. There is contact between the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso. Mali Kekec defending that inside line. He almost lost the position here last lap. He defends it this time, learning quickly, and he does hold on to that. Konzo, he's looking for a way past here, but Mali Kekec, this is turning into an excellent defensive drive from him. Konzo, is he going to have a little dive down into turn 6? No, he's going to have to wait.
Stocky's joining the club.
Yeah, Stocky just closing this gap now. It was 1.5 seconds, it's now 1 second. He's kind of perked up again and gone, oh, these two are battling hard. It's not an easy overtake. I can get involved in this. So yeah, I mean, Konzo, he's got to find a way past soon, I think, because otherwise these super soft tires will start to fall off towards the end of the stint. Mali Kekec will know that, and he'll know that he's just got to hold on for a couple more laps, just manage the pressure, don't make a mistake. This is where experience as a driver comes in crucial, as Milstar goes past Danny Railton for P8. Konzo again going to have a look along this main straight, but Konzo's run very, very wide through the long right-hander. That will compromise his run onto the straight. He's a little bit further back than he was previously to Mali Kekec, and again, Mali Kekec defending that inside line. Can Konzo find a way through? No, he's not close enough into this braking zone. Takes a tighter line, but has a bit of a moment of oversteer that's perhaps cost him a chance to get by on traction. Mali Kekec now coming through the final corner, and Stocky's within the DRS of this pair as well. Konzo, he's got DRS, he's got slipstream. It's not quite enough to get alongside into turn 1, and Mali Kekec again, he's just trying to hold that inside line. He doesn't leave the space, and that's good for Mali Kekec. Smart driving there. Konzo's going to have to go around the outside if he wants to get past. I think something has happened to Danny Railton. He's lost a couple positions.
He's got a 3-second penalty also.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Danny Railton. He loses positions to Hindle and Milstar. Hindle making a move on Milstar as well. This is at turn 1. The Mercedes going all the way around the outside of Milstar. Now down into turn 3. He's got the inside line. Oh, he just pushes Milstar a little wide. That is within the limits, and he is through. So Hindle up to P8 now. Back on board with Stocky, Konzo and Stocky Mali Kekec for this battle. Don't want to miss what's going on up here. Konzo again, he's within that sort of 4/10 margin. He's going to have a run onto the main straight. I'm assuming that Mali Kekec is just going to do the exact same thing as he's done the last 3 laps.
It's going to be a threesome to the end.
Konzo, he's going down the outside. He's got to be late on the brakes, but Mali Kekec has been absolutely superb on the brakes. All of this race, he runs Konzo a little bit wide on the curb, and this has opened up an opportunity for Stocky in the Red Bull, and he's going to have a chance now. Is he going to be quick enough in a straight line? No, Konzo's got incredible straight line speed. He's just pulling away from Stocky down that straight, and the positions stay how they are. Konzo running a little bit wide at turn 1. He now goes back up the inside on Mali Kekec. Not quite. These three are basically pushing each other through turn 2. Very, very close. I'm amazed they've not made contact from that. But yeah, I see Stocky maybe struggling a little bit on traction there. But yeah, phenomenal racing up here, and just, well, 3 laps to go now. Konzo's got to find a way past. And these three are, well, this battling is costing them a huge amount of time. Calzo running away with it out front.
20 seconds.
Yeah, it's a big, big gap.
I think second place can go either way. Obviously, it depends on Konzo's managing his tires in this sandwich. SBL keeping hold of his position, and Stocky, I don't know. This is really tense. I don't want to be in anybody's shoes now.
Yeah, I think realistically as well, these drivers, they've got to think long term. I mean, realistically, these three are all championship contenders this season in the World Series, so they can't afford to throw it away here in China. But again, Konzo going to the outside, down into the hairpin. Is he better on the brakes than Mali Kekec? No. Mali Kekec has been excellent on the brakes through there all race long, and he's been able to hold it. And Konzo, he's got to get inventive here, surely. I mean, he's got to look for an overtake somewhere else. His tires are going to start to fall off soon. He is closing again. Mali Kekec into turn one. He's going to try and take it around the outside. He's very, very late on the brakes there. And Mali Kekec is holding the inside contact.
Ooh.
But Konzo is ahead.
He's done it. He's ahead, and Stocky is following him.
Hold on, is Mali Kekec going to have an opportunity down into turn 5? Will he go for a move under the brakes? Konzo defends to the inside, Mali Kekec. Oh, Stocky's up the inside. There is contact between the Red Bull and the Toro Rosso, and Stocky is up in front of Mali Kekec. So what we were saying about an opportunistic move, Stocky's made it. A little bit of contact there, perhaps something to be said in the stewards for it, but he is through. And now Mali Kekec dropping from P2 to P4 in just a couple of corners. He's almost into the back of Stocky there. So now the question is, can Konzo pull away, or are these super soft tires going to fall off? I mean, I don't know if you... Well, in the race yesterday, do you find the super soft fell off a lot towards the end of the stints, or were they still quite good?
I was a bit hard on my tires yesterday, but yeah, if you manage not to overheat them and going into the corners and the braking zones, yeah, they can stand. You can go up to like 55-57% on the tire wear, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, Konzo left it very late for the pit stop. He went to lap, I think it was 17, to just give him an 11-lap stint at the end. So he should be, I think he'll be okay in terms of tyre wear. I don't think there's any risk of a puncture. But yeah, as we move into the final 2 laps, Mali Kekec having a look at Stocky. He's not quite close enough to make a move into turn 1. And Konzo is just starting to pull a little bit of a gap, 1.4 seconds. He's got a bit of a buffer to these two.
I think SBL overcooked his tires.
Yeah, I think he did stop considerably earlier than this pair. Stocky has much younger tires. SBL Mali Kekec having a look around the outside at turn 6, but not enough. Stocky's better on the traction. And yeah, I mean, Stocky pitted, it was lap 14. I think Mali Kekec was in the pits somewhere around lap 9 or lap 10. So he's got much older tires, but he is sticking with Stocky.
I don't know. SBL has a very excellent straight line speed in contrast to Stocky, but Stocky is not an easy guy to overtake.
Yeah, Mali Kekec did look as if he had some good straight line speed when he was battling with Konzo. We know that he's mighty on the brakes as well, as he's just not quite close enough this time though. Stocky just 7/10 ahead, and I mean, if this were F1 2016, you would breeze past, but big point of F1 2017 has been making the overtaking much more difficult, and we've seen that today. Although that's lag from Stocky on my screen, not him actually running deep. So yeah, Mali Kekec, he's got one lap, too. But I mean, in this situation, at this point, do you go for a risky move?
Lots of lagging from Stocky.
Yeah, he's all over the place. I'm getting this as well. I mean, at this point, if you're Mali Kekec, is it worth the risk? If you see Stocky lagging in front of you, you know that you're battling for the championship this season. Can you afford to make a bold move and potentially throw away the points? I don't know. That's a decision that he will have to make. If I were in his shoes, I might just back up a little bit and defend those 12 points that I've got. But Mali Kekec, he is closing again within half a second. And I'm going to keep an eye on Calzo. Where's he? He's coming into the third sector now. We will watch him cross the line. And Danny Railton. Okay, there has not been a change of position there. Stocky is all over the road on my screen. He's having some serious connection issues, and I think Mali Kekec has seen this and maybe just given him a little bit of a gap here. He's backed off to sort of 8/10. But we are going to watch the Ferrari driver of... Okay, Stocky. No, he is back there. The Ferrari driver of Calzo coming to win the Spanish Grand Prix in the World Series. Fantastic drive from him. Excellent result for Calzo as he takes the checkered flag. His first win of the season. Conzo in P2. It is a Ferrari 1-2. I think you called that earlier on, Roadrunner. Yeah, it is the Ferrari 1-2. Conzo crossing the line in second place. And then we've got Stocky in P3. Excellent race from him. Holding on to that position just ahead of Mali Kekec. Garfield finishing in P5. He's managed to drop Slimbo Dude. Does Slimbo Dude have damage? No. So Garfield, despite battling that whole race, he has managed to pull a gap on Slimbo, who will come home in P6. Good result. He is a reserve driver, reserving for Valdemar, and I'm sure that Toro Rosso will be very happy with that performance. Maznat in P7. Hindle in P8. Difficult race for him. Lost a lot of positions off of the start. We've got Milstar crossing the line in P9. Danny Railton in P10. Lefty in P11. And oh no, Danny Railton with the penalty we saw earlier loses the position to Lefty Hardtail. So Lefty Hardtail will grab the final point here in China. Watching Gonk, he's in P12. He was running up in the points earlier on in the race, but had to make an extra stop. And he's down in P12 and 69. We've not seen too much of him today. He will cross the line in P13. And then we've got Will One Win One, who had an incident, I believe, early on in the race, had to make an early pit stop and was a long way back. He is in P14 and will be the final finisher on the lead lap of the World Series race here in China.
And no surprise, Conzo takes the fastest lap also, 1:34.6.
Yeah, great performance from him, really showing what he can do with the tyre wear. We saw that a lot last season, and it's continued on here. Fantastic drive from all of our podium sitters, I've got to say, and some phenomenal battling up at the front this race.
A red podium, a 1-2 for Ferrari, and a Red Bull. That's a nice scenery to watch. especially if you're a Ferrari fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ferrari have been good this year. Ferrari fans might be enjoying it. But yeah, so once again, the rundown of the grid. Calzo takes the win here in China. Conzo P2, Stocky third. Good podiums from that lot. SBL Mali Kekec just missing out on a podium. Hard fought race for him. Then Garfield and Slimbo Dude. Great battling from them earlier on in the race. Maznat 7th, Hindle in 8th, Milstar in 9th. We've got Lefty Hardtail grabbing the final point. Danny Railton with penalties drops out of the points. And then Gonk and 69 will win one. I believe that Roman Grosjean on my screen was Farthba. And we had RDB and Lord JB. They both finished a lap down. Our only DNF was Jade Rios, who I believe retired in the pits.
An interesting race to watch.
Okay,
really,
so
really interesting.
For those who are watching the broadcast, I'm going to invite the podium sitters to the podium interviews. However, the screen will go black or blue. I can't remember which it is while I do this, so we will be back in 1 minute.
One season. Again.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure if the audio gets broadcast when I'm off of the broadcasting screen, so we'll just repeat that question of the day as well. We had such a busy race that we didn't even have time to get it in. So yeah, go for it again, Roadrunner.
Okay, the question of the day is the Ferrari 2001 of Michael Schumacher was sold for £7 million dollars in a recent auction. The guess is how many races did that car win? In 2001, of course.
Okay, so hopefully we get our podium sitters in fairly soon. I have sent them all an invite.
No Googling, guys.
Of course, that goes without saying. Our drivers would never go for a quick Google there. Can't be having that. All right, so just as we're waiting for our podium sitters to join the lobby, a couple comments on the YouTube chat. Mali Kakech not too happy about one of the moves involving him and Stocky. I'm sure that we can ask Stocky about that in a moment. And then yeah, just some comments, people saying that they had a good race and enjoyed it. So just waiting for Konzo now. Calzo has joined, and there is Konzo as well. So I just want to say to the trio of you, please make sure that you have your microphones on allow to be shared so that the viewers can hear your responses to the questions.
I've done this gig many a time.
Just making sure. Alrighty, okay. So, Roadrunner, do you want to start us off with some questions for our race winner, Calzo?
Calzo, what a race for you. Nice win, congratulations on that. How do you feel about your first win, I think? Or a second, or is it second win, Curly?
Second.
Second win, so the first two races, first two wins. I think you're dominant this season. How does it feel?
No, I meant my second one in the FRA, but yeah. First race went okay, got fourth, but this race I felt a lot better going into it. I felt a lot more comfortable. I knew I had pace on pretty much most of the fields. And yeah, maybe a bit aggressive into turn one, but I got first and then I just rode off into the sunset.
That Ferrari must have felt well.
Yeah, it did.
What can you tell us about the fights with the other guys?
Well, the only fight I really had was turn one. When I came out the pits, came out behind Danny Railton, got him at like turn 5, 4. And then, other than that, I just peeled away and heard Con talking about him battling with Mali Kakech, voicing his own opinion. So, yeah.
Did you have any communication with your teammate during the race, talking strategy, possibly went to pit, had time to help each other?
I was talking to Con the whole race, but I didn't know what strategy I was going to do for the race. I didn't know if I was going to make super soft work, or if mediums were safer, what everyone else was going to do. I didn't know what tyre stock he was going to start on, and he started on pole. So yeah, it's kind of just make up as you go along.
So was it on the cards to go to softs instead of mediums in your second stint?
Well, yeah, because I had a blueprint set out for me last night with Carly Worley, doing the exact same thing as what I did tonight.
Okay, but I think you didn't do that, and you went to the safe strategy on going on to mediums and having a big gap to the guys behind who were doing a spectacular race and having a spectacular three-way fight, Stocky, Konzo, and SPL Mali Kakech. And I think SPL, we've seen a bit of lag from Stocky. I don't know what happened there, but we're gonna ask him in a couple of minutes. Curly, if you want to ask Calzo anything.
Yeah, Calzo, turn one, we saw you and Stockley battling through there, turn one of the race, but Hindle was fairly punted off the track. I'm not quite sure which driver made contact. I think it may have been the three of you coming together. Do you know what happened there, or were you aware of it at the time?
Well, I actually messaged Ryan after the race saying what happened to him, and he said, and I knew he was around me at turn 1 and 2, but I just took the inside and just kept accelerating. So I knew Stocky was on the inside for turn 3, but I think he was behind Stocky, and me and Stocky went sideways a little bit, and I think he hit the back of Stocky.
Okay. Just want to say well done. Excellent race from yourself. Quite dominant, particularly towards the end, and you're welcome for the strategy there. We'll move on to our second place sitter, Konzo. Konzo starting on the soft compound tire. I mean, what was the thinking behind that? Did you consider the super softs, or were you always going to run longer in the first stint?
I did consider the super softs, but I wasn't sure what to do. But before the race, strategy was like, well, you could do a one stop, either do the mediums or do soft mediums to be safe. But since that we obviously were wet qualifying it, I thought to myself, well, me and Cal were discussing it, and we were thinking we could just do maybe the super softs or the softs one of the way or the other, and forget about the mediums, and because it'll make it work because you have less, you don't have the tyre wear to start with, so it turned out to be a good call in the end. But my God, that was a hard battle.
Yeah, we'll go on to that now. The battle at the end of the race with Mali Kekec and Stocky, you being on the super soft tires, them being on the mediums. I mean, were you worried about your tires falling off at the end of the race against them? And I mean, in terms of getting past, it took a while to get past Mali Kekec. She was defending very hard. I mean, were you always confident that you were going to be able to get past, or were there some doubts starting to creep in towards the end?
It was definitely. Oh, sorry, is it you? So I'm half focusing. I'm really sorry. My brother's giving me crap next to me.
Can't believe I just happened.
Well, we'll get to you in a moment, Stocky. Don't worry. We'll get to you in a moment. I'll make sure it's clear for you.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
I do apologise.
No, fine, don't worry. We both were involved in the same thing. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, the battle was pretty hard. It took a little bit of time to get past Stocky, and I was like, right, okay, you put up a bit of a fight, but I think he knew that if you let me go, it means that I would get to Mali Kekec, and but Mali Kekec proved to be a bit of a harder obstacle to clear. Probably the hardest obstacle to clear ever. But I tried everything to go on the outside, I tried going up the inside, I tried switching back, and just eventually, just a sheer perseverance, I got him running the outside into turn 2, so I'm just glad it actually worked, and there wasn't much contact made at all, which was good to see.
Yeah, I will say it was a fantastic battling to watch. Excellent driving from all three of you, it seemed. So congratulations for that, and congratulations on P2. Roadrunner, do you have any questions for Konzo here?
Yeah, actually, we've asked all what I wanted to ask. So congratulations to Konzo on Ferrari's double podium on second place. One question going to Bahrain. What are your thoughts on the next race? I think you guys in the Ferrari are looking solid this season.
For Bahrain, to be honest, I've preferred Bahrain to this track. I've been really struggling. I actually had to practice quite a lot today to get a good setup around here, and thankfully I found one eventually. And but as for Bahrain, I think Bahrain was a bit easier for me, but it's a very good track, and people like that track, so I'll be expecting more of the same. Another tough race yet again.
So getting second in a circuit that you don't like and you're not comfortable in, and you're going to Bahrain where you are very solid and you're very comfortable, I think you're gonna be dominant over there.
Dominant. My problem is qualifying. That's my issue. It's always my issue. I don't seem to get a lap together at all in qualifying. But if I could sort that out, then maybe I've got a much better chance of maybe getting the win in the race. Obviously, Callum sailed off into the sunset this race. As much as a good thing it's a 1-2, he's my teammate and he's unfortunately my brother. So yeah, I'll not be living this one down quickly.
Will we see any team orders down the road?
Nah, to be honest with you, at the start of the season, we knew that there's realistically maybe 6 people within a good chance of maybe winning the title. So we'll see what the points are. I don't look at the points at all until literally Budapest halfway through the season, and then we'll start worrying about who needs what points. So.
Yeah, well said. Good race from you guys. Off to Stocky now. You want to ask Curly? Start with Stocky.
Stocky, you there? Yeah. You
Yeah,
ready?
yeah,
Prepared?
Yeah, good, yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
So Stocky qualifying, pole position.
Yes.
How was it?
I was quite surprised actually. I didn't expect to be on pole in the rain because I don't use the assist, but I was happy nonetheless. But probably started on the wrong tyre anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you are one of the few sort of no assist runners in the World Series. I mean, in the wet conditions, do you feel like that gives you perhaps a slight edge, or do you feel like maybe you lose out a little bit?
I would say probably in the qualifying isn't as bad as much as I would lose out in the race. So I'm more happy it's a wet qualifying than it is a wet race.
Fair enough. It was a great lap from you. Onto the start of the race, starting on the soft compound of tyres from pole position as well. What was the thinking about that? I mean, did you consider going on the supers and just trying to run away, or was it always going to be a harder compound of tyre to start?
Oh, it was always going to be either medium or soft. I wanted to do what Conzo, is that the right one? Second place, yes. Did with the super soft at the end, but I had a really dodgy first stint because I actually received 97 invitations over the course of that race to Fortnite.
Oh dear.
Yeah, all of the really important laps, the opening few ones, the ones where Conzo pitted, and I've now got 77 waiting for me as I'm speaking at the moment. So, yeah.
Clearly very popular. Perhaps turn your notifications off for the next race. Will definitely help out. I want to go to the pit stops. You stopped, I think it was lap 14 for a set of mediums. In the commentary box, we assumed that you were going to go to a set of super softs at the end. Was that the original plan? It seemed like lap 14 for a set of mediums was quite late. Did you sort of bail off of your original strategy and go to mediums, or was that always the sort of the plan there?
I had to bail off of it because I looked at lap 14 and I was there 71%, and I was like, okay, then I ain't getting to 17. Let's go and see what we can do on the mediums.
All right, Roadrunner, any questions for our P3 place Stocky?
Yeah. How was the fight from your point of view with Conzo and the SBL?
I watched a good portion of it. That must have been hell for you, Conzo.
Definitely was not easy, put it that way. Everything I tried, I kept getting a little squeeze, but it was hard. But
Leo.
I can say fair. Let me be fair. I don't know. I'll have to look at it and see.
I was watching it and I'm there, and oh my gosh.
I did think there was one point where I thought there was definitely going to be contact here, and someone was losing their wing. But thankfully,
I saw a bit into turn one, and I was like, oh god. But yeah, it was good. It was good to finally get involved because I let Conzo go in the hope of that would happen. And when Conzo got past, Mally left the door open, so I took it. I just went for it. Who cares? Let's have it.
Yeah, it was a nice move from our point of view. But there was after you overtook SBL, did you notice that SBL just dropped back and behind you?
There was a bit of bump and grind, yeah. But I didn't lock up. I was in control, and a little bit of bump and grind in my opinion is hard racing. It was firm, but I think it was fair.
Yeah, the overtake was fair, but your car was all over the place.
Yeah. Well,
I
I don't know,
think
perhaps,
we-
perhaps that
down
was
to
the
old,
number of
notifications.
notifications slowing his PlayStation down. That might have been the lag right there.
I'm gonna
Delicious.
refresh my. I'm gonna refresh my thing. Right.
I would name and shame whoever that was.
Be hammer time.
Not on the stream. Not on the stream. We'll do that afterwards. All right. I
99
believe
plus.
we have a
Okay.
question of the day for the podium sitters. This one we're expecting some quick fire answers, so no googling here. Roadrunner's got it ready. Let's hear the question of the day.
Okay, so
Wait, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a sec.
yeah,
Okay,
did
go.
you open Google?
Give me a second.
Okay,
Give me a second. I open Google.
Okay, Schumacher's Ferrari 2001 was sold for $7 million a couple of days back in an auction. How many races did that car win?
God.
You realise I was 1 year old in 2001.
Well, were you not watching at that point? That's a disappointing commitment. All right, Calzo,
No.
give us a guess.
Well, given that I might have been only a couple months old, or maybe one at the time, I don't know how long this car saw races for, so I'm just going to say it won 4.
All right, Konzo, what's your guess?
I'll guess 9.
Stocky,
You're
what's your
Google.
guess?
None.
No races. All right. Well, we can say. Do we have any guesses on YouTube? We have one from Demon Red Mist with 0. Millstar says 8. I can confirm that the winner of question of the day is Konzo with exactly the correct answer.
Oh, that was a good guess.
I'm guessing he's got a keyboard near him, but yeah, 9 races won in 2001, all of which won by Michael Schumacher in that Ferrari, which was sold, I think, last week. So, yeah, that was the winner of the
Not bad
question of the
money.
day. Congratulations, Gonzo.
Actually, that car, and actually that car drove the first 2 races in 2002 season.
I did it. Oh, that helped then.
Yeah, it was a dominant car.
All right, okay, so we can kind of wind things down a little bit now. Just want to say thank you to everybody that's watched the stream. And congratulations once again to our podium sitters, Calzo, Konzo, and Stocky. Great races from them, some fantastic battling, and a fairly dominant win here for Calzo. See if these guys can continue onwards in their journey to win the World Series this season. Konzo defending his title. I'm sure these two want to take it away from him. We'll be in Bahrain in 2 weeks for the World Series, but just to give you a note for what's coming up next on Front Row Racing. Next Wednesday, we will have the World Championship reserves, and next Thursday, we will have the World Series reserves. Both of those events will be in Bahrain under the lights, and the week after that, we will have, once again, the World Championship and the World Series. Roadrunner, do you have any comments before we end the broadcast?
Well, it was a very interesting and busy race for us. Thank you for that, guys. You've put a spectacular race. Congratulations to all of you, and especially to Calzo, and we'll see you in Bahrain.
All right, so yeah, thank you very much for everybody, and good night from Front Row Racing.